Hello and welcome to the Tarka Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at the game Crystal Clash. Now this is a free-to-play game on Steam, on the Steam platform. It used to be called, oh geez, what was it? It used to be called another game name altogether. And I've played it about 2 years ago. I think I was playing this game, and then the population of the game just tanked. And it wasn't that enjoyable just playing against the AI all the time. They got a cool premise. It was a very enjoyable game. And then what happened was they renamed the game and rebranded the game to what it is that we're looking at now. It's saying that it released in January 14th, 2022, but I think the rebranding has been recent. They just renamed the game to something different. We'll go in and let's see what, I don't know if it's going to remember my progress under the other old title. So we might have to do a tutorial while playing this thing. But when I did play it back in the day, I found it to be a very enjoyable game. All right. So it looks like we've got I'll have to adjust the sound, but it looks like it just works in a pop-up box now. Before it used to be full screen. All right, so the interface has definitely changed. They've got, oh yeah, it's totally different interface. All right, let's go to this. Let's go to sounds. Let's just turn the sound down a little bit. There we go. All right, so let's play a game. I don't think I've got, oh, I guess it did remember my progress. Because these are the things that I had. Make a fairs and match against the decks, similar tier. Okay, I'm just gonna hit start here. And it's gonna, oh, so it does have a player base issue again. There's only 8 players online for this entire game universe. So this is what the problem was back in the day, is you just never could find anybody to play the game with. It's a cool game. It's got a great concept. It's very fun to play. It's just unfortunate, and you can play a co-op, which is kind of neat too. So you can play against other 2v2 matches. I think that's what I've it says 2v2 match. Maybe that's what I'm in now. And then you got a co-op challenge. So it does look like it is a 2v2 game now, not a solo game. Because before I used to be able to play solo without a partner. But it looks like it queued me in a 2v2 match, and we're just waiting. Unless they just let me. Oh no, they didn't let me fill that in with myself. It says queuing solo for this mode can lead to longer waiting times. Play with a partner. Oh, here we go. All right, so it queued us up. So hopefully I can remember. This is the first time I've played in a very long time, and it looks like it went full screen now that it's actually engaged the game. So you build a deck. Your deck can be custom. What I did I built this deck. These are the things that the things over here you can do once you earn points. And then these things are like mobs that you can put down. And then you earn, over time, you earn the points add up. As you kill more and more things, you get more points to spend down here. And only these can be put down here. These items here allow for spawns to happen on a timer. And these are instant spawns where you put them down and they're insta spawns. I like to do the ranged attacks. I like to circle them with the range attacks. And then put my beefy tank there in the center. And what you do is when you take over these platforms, when you destroy these platforms, they will spawn critters for you. And we'll be able to advance. So now I can place my items closer, because we got to turn it over. Once we take over the spawn location, you know, there we go. Now I can put my, and I can, this little Heart of the Forest spawner, it buffs other critters. So when it spawns itself, because the things here will spawn on a timer, and so it's your base spawns. That's what I like about the worm, the black worm, is when it dies, it buffs one of your comrades. If there's somebody close, it buffs the guys that are close to it when it dies. We'll look at the deck once we win this, because it's clear we're going to win this. Oh, I could put another buffer down, but I want to wait until I get into the cauldron spawner. I'll just let this play out, because I think we've got it. And that's it in a nutshell, folks. That's the game. Now let's look at the deck so I can explain to you what the instant mobs are versus the base mobs. And then what it does, it rewards you cards, and these cards can be used to upgrade. So I use this guy, so I'm going to choose that guy. And then it allows you to upgrade each mob based on what you've won in the battle. Okay, whoop. I wish those things would stop flashing so I could hit the next thing. Come on, get away. There you go, continue. All right, I'm gonna hit done. Okay, so let's look at the deck. I think I can just look, let me see here. I think I need to go to deck builder, because this is the only deck, this deck is the only deck that I ran before. And we'll go down to the base. These things here, these four are your base defenses. And if you look at them, I think it just got rid of that instead of doing what I wanted to do. Okay, so how do I, I've got to go in this direction. All right. And it tells you what each, okay, this is what I took away. All right. So basically, that is a base one. It's it will not attack. It consumes 3 energy to enhance a nearby unit. Permanently affects the target's health and increases it by 40. So he's a buffer. He allows the buffing. Now this is the soul spawner. This one spawns monsters. This one here. Oh, that's the skin. This one here, what's this one do? It's a crystal this also spawns an enforcer. It's got a charge cooldown. It's only they only have 3 charges now. And then this one here, what was this one? This one is a spore spawner. So I was making like a weenie deck with a, and then these here are the high end monsters that you can insta spawn, and then the low end monsters. So let's just play another round. Let's see if we can get into another queue and see if we can get in there, and we can see some of the high-end monsters. I didn't use any of the high-end monsters because I instantly spawned stuff when it became available. When I built this deck originally, it was basically a weenie deck. I wanted just to overpower my enemy with lots of mobs. That's why my home mobs, one's a buffer that buffs the mobs, and then these are weenie mobs. They just come out of the, and then I was using that to buff, and then you've got the insta spawn monsters, and hopefully we can get in a queue faster this time than before. I guess they give me a level now. It looks like I'm at 29th level, and this must be stuff that predate, you know, like I said, this used to be under another title. So we'll wait and see if we get into another game here. And let's hope we do. I like to show you the game. I mean, it's a fun game, and if you look at the monsters and what each one of them does and how they work with other monsters on the map, it's really strategic. You can really make a strategic deck. When I played it about a year ago and played this deck, this deck was pretty powerful because it was just small weenie monsters that would just overrun anything, and it worked out well. So we'll give it to the 2-minute mark. If not, then we'll just call it. This game does lack players. It's a free-to-play game, so I'm not really sure why it lacks so many people. So they also put up there at the top, to make the game fair, you're only matched against decks of similar tier. So that could be my problem too. That there might be only 9 other people in the world that have a deck similar to mine or within my tier. Because I didn't play a lot of this game. A lot of my creatures were really up there in... All right, here we go. So I definitely want to put this there. Get that spawner going. That's a it's a pretty much, he's a tank. So that home unit spawned this here. You gotta make sure that you cast, because you got a max of 400. So you don't want to waste, if it gets in the 400. Oh, I want to put one of these guys out. I want to put one of these guys. These black little wormy things will buff mobs that are near them if they die. And these range attack guys are pretty devastating. I like to use them. Jeez, it's like, why isn't it let me bring that one? Yeah, we're being pushed back, so it's always good to spawn your critters next to the thing that will allow us to, why isn't that one? Oh, it's a buff? Oh, I have to click on, yeah, I forgot about that. I actually got to click on and then use it as a buff. So I throw that guy down, then click on him, then I can buff him. So now I'm going to go back down to the home base, and I'm going to put another tank in. Those things have a lot of hit points. They do. They have a lot of hit points. So I'm just buffing the tanky guys now. I'm just buffing them with this buff. Now in 17 or a minute and 15 seconds, these next tier items will unlock. But I don't think the battle's going to last that long, because these are the second tier items and they're on a timer. So the people that I'm playing against are doesn't seem to be that great at the game. Because we really got them pushed back to the... I just buffed one of those tanks that are coming from the backfield. All right, so I can get another, and I'm gonna put this one in. So that's gonna give me a buff there. Now we're down to 4 seconds. This is where it's really gonna get fun. So now we're in stage 2, and I can bring out bigger mobs. And these mobs are just deadly, especially if I buff them. So I don't even going to use the weenie mobs anymore, except for the buffer, because I'm just going to pack the field with these epic, larger tier 2 mobs. And then they got another tier 3 or 4, which happens in 4 minutes. Yeah, it's over. The deck I made is pretty an uber deck. Because it's just it just overwhelms the battlefield with weenie mobs. And my guy that's playing with me is doing a pretty damn good job keeping the pressure up and on. There it is. We won again. And it should give me another thing to pick from now. These guys, I'm going to choose this guy because I know I've used that before. So it's a pretty fun game. I would recommend, playing it. It does definitely need more players in the game. It's just that I hadn't come back to this game in a while because, again, it was very it didn't have a population base. It didn't feel like at the time when I played it a year ago, it didn't have a population base. And now it's been rebranded, renamed. It's very positive. It is a fun game. Once you understand each mob and try to build your deck accordingly, it can be very fun. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I want to thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkus Zone.